Hey, good morning everyone, or whatever the time of day you are woke up today. And I'm gonna have a long day ahead of me, so I'm gonna have to start it with the Starbucks. But most importantly, I wanted to share with you how long of a charge you can actually expect from a normal 110 outlet overnight. So I'm gonna, instead of talking about it, I'm gonna actually show it to you. Right as soon as I unlock my garage. Alright, so the car has been charging overnight. And let's see, if I come close, it's recognized my key, opens the door for me. So let's see. So as you can see, guys, music. As you can see, guys, overnight I got 59 miles. I mean, that's plenty. That's plenty for most of the people's commute. Yes, it does only take 4 miles per hour. Although I actually notice with my calculations, sometimes it's underestimating it. Sometimes it's actually giving you slightly more. You know, when I calculated the total overnight, it actually comes up a little bit more. Sometimes, not always though. So just saying, you know, it could totally work. I do have a charging solutions at my place of work, and I live close by multiple superchargers. But honestly, I don't really rely on them that much because, you know, it pretty much works. 60 miles a day, yeah, why not? All right, let's get this day started. Actually, I keep forgetting to talk with you about is the mobile connector, or I don't know, phone dock, whatever you're gonna call it. So it costs $25 on the Tesla website. When I was taking a delivery of my car, I actually say, hey, can I buy one of those? You know, I don't really want to wait for delivery or anything like that, you know. I just want to install everything as soon as I can. So they actually give it to me for free. Yeah, I mean, I know it's not much, but still, it's pretty nice, you know, to have this customer service. So they give it to me for free. Just remove this mat, remove those bolts, and the original plastic is just, you don't have anything sticking out from here. So there is multiple options if you have an iPhone, if you have Android, and I think there's some other option with a connector here. So obviously I have an iPhone, so it's connected here, goes underneath, 2 screws, boom. It's very simple process, takes no longer than, I don't know, 3-4 minutes with any basic screwdriver. You don't need any specific tools or anything like that. So very easy to install and very cool. Some people have on the sides those I'm not sure how you're gonna call it, just they holding your phones from the side, plastic pieces. I'm not sure what's the purpose of that, because I'm actually plugging my phone in. I don't use any cover on my phone. I just plug it in and it doesn't go anywhere. It's not like it's moving left or right. It stays very tight in place. So I don't know what's the point of the side plastic things. So Tesla didn't give it to me, and honestly I don't want them. So, but yeah, you know, let me know, guys, in the comments. Maybe I'm missing some essential points of those holders on the side. So it's been exactly 1 week since I owned a Tesla, and surprisingly for most of the people, I already done 825 miles to the day. Yeah, I do drive a lot, so you know, it's actually one thing that a lot of people kind of missing the point about from financial perspective. Obviously not talking about all other benefits it's bringing, but just from financial perspectives. If you live 2 miles away from work, and I don't know, you own Toyota Yaris, let's just, okay, remove the names. Some people might be offended. You own a very compact, very economical car, and you live extremely close to your work, maybe it's not really affecting you as much. Some people in a very different situations though, like myself. So I drive a lot, guys, a lot, and I mean a lot. I'm pretty sure in 1 month I will put on this little I'm not sure if it's a guy or a girl yet, to be honest. I haven't decided yet. Need to think about that. But I'm driving roughly 3,000 miles a month. So for me, just the gas consumption alone pays off for at least half of this car. like quite honestly. So, you know, when a lot of people, you know, complaining about the price of it, that it's not really a mass market, which, yeah, I get it. It's $100,000 car, pretty much the basic one, because let's be honest, the basic model sold for $74,550. I mean, 74,500, I believe. However, you're not gonna buy a Model S for 74,500 without autopilot. It's just, seriously guys, that just doesn't make any sense. Without nice seats. So for $74,500, you're gonna have a cloth interior. Now, I'm not a snob, which some of you might think that, but I just have a furry dogs, so if I will have a cloth interior, it's just gonna be a nightmare for me after each time I take them inside. I know what you're thinking, like, well, you know, your bright white interior probably also not the best practical option. I disagree. I highly disagree. I actually seen a lot of videos testing that, and Tesla themselves, they say that in a practicality test and usability, whatever, the bright white came out the best, even better than the, you know, their black interior or a cream interior. Plus, honestly, I thought that, you know, when I'm spending that much money on a car, I have never spent that much money on a car. I want it to be perfect, you know, for me. I want to enjoy every day when I sit in the car. I want to have a smile on my face, which I do. I absolutely love driving it. Anyway, going back to fuel consumption. As I say that, you know, this just the fuel alone pays for itself. And a few people ask me why I haven't bought Model 3. Good question, I guess. I have a very good answer for that. So, I actually had the reservation, one of the very early reservations for Model 3, and then I canceled it because I was very not convinced that I will be able to work out just with my normal 110 outlet, and without it, wait, what am I doing? Why am I concentrating on the road? All right, so, and without it, I wasn't sure that I would be able to actually, you know, with all my driving styles, to pull back all that energy that I need to. And the supercharger is not free for a Model 3. I know it's still much cheaper than gas, but still the fact is it's not free, it costs money, and in some states it's actually costs pretty decent. I heard that in California it's actually much more expensive than it is in Florida. Currently I do live in Florida, however I do travel a lot, and I'm actually at some point, I'm considering maybe to move to California on somewhat more permanent basis. So it is kind of important for me. It's a big deal. That's first. Second, a lot of people don't really understand one basic concept, that Tesla will never make Model 3 better than Model S, simply because it's not beneficial for them. You know, a lot of people saying, oh, they're gonna hurt their sales with Model S. Yes, exactly. If they will make it much better, they will, but it won't. Right now, Tesla Model S is the third, I believe it's the number 3 most sold electric vehicle in America. Number 1 is indeed Model 3 right now. Then I believe it's Chevy Volt and Model S, and I think Model X comes right after. It was a very tiny difference. So it's much smaller car. I don't have a very large family or anything like that, but I do have, like I say, a couple furry friends. I have my parents very often living with me, stopping by. I have, you know, I have just normal needs like everybody else does. So Model 3 seemed to be a little bit too small. I was not convinced on sedan design either, because I'm kind of adventure guy. I like to pull the crazy trips, like, you know, a few thousand miles, and for me, ability to, if needed, obviously, to sleep in a car comfortably, it's kind of important, you know. I know it's a really weird factor to consider when you purchase such expensive car, but it is kind of important. And for the same reason, I was not considering the Model X, because the only configuration where you can fold down the back seats is a 5-seater. But if it's a 5-seater Model X, what is the difference? I just did not see a difference between an S or an X if it's both of them have a 5-seater. There is no difference. Towing package, that's one big difference that I actually myself see between an X and an S. That X obviously can tow stuff. Never happened to me in my life that I needed actually to tow anything, so not sure. I'm pretty sure it's pretty important for a lot of people, just not me. And again, because it's a bigger car, it's have a smaller range. So for a little bit more money, I'm gonna get a little bit less of a range with a little bit less of acceleration. And I don't really want to bring Tesla down, but their infamous wing doors, or not Falcon doors, that's what they call it, I guess. It's been known for their squeakiness, unreliability, and stuff like that. It's not my personal experience. I just seen a lot of guys on internet, mostly, saying stuff like that. I don't know, and I just didn't see a practical reason for myself to have a much larger car, but still a 5-seater. I don't have a kids, knock on wood. So, that's why Model S seemed to me just a perfect combination of everything, better acceleration, better range, free supercharging. So for me, it's technically a free charging completely, I do have the ChargePoint thing. It's like an application for like a third-party charging solutions. Never used it yet, and honestly, I don't think I ever will, even if it's gonna be free. I don't know. It's level 2 chargers, so it's gonna be charging at the speed roughly in the United States, at least roughly with like 18 miles an hour ish. So I mean, at a supercharger, which I do have nearby a few, I charge at like 250, 300 miles an hour, so which is insane. You can fully charge your car in like 40 minutes. So yeah, to all of you gasoline guys saying that I'm gonna be sitting at the charger for a whole day to drive 100 miles, that's a nonsense. Maybe it's been the case 10 years ago, maybe, I don't know. Certainly not right now. So yeah, that's what made me buy a Model S, and I'm totally in love with it. There's a few things that I wish didn't happen in a $100,000 car, of course, but I'm being very open-minded about it, because remember, when you're buying a Tesla, you're not buying a basically finished product. You're not, because they constantly releasing the software updates, they constantly making it better. It's unfinished product. You have to understand that when you're buying it. All the cars, including Model 3, that you can technically, not right now, but technically buy for $35,000, it's ready for full self-driving capability. Now that's insane. I mean, what else can you buy for $35,000 price range with this capability? Now, to be fair, all that is going to be an option, not going to be, it's already an option. The autopilot that, for example, I have, even on Model S, they're the most premium, the most expensive. Well, no, actually, that's probably a lie. I think Model X fully packaged, probably a little bit more expensive. Anywho, their best saloon car does not have autopilot included. You have to pay $5,000. It's a lot, and it's just a software update, so it's just a click of a button for them. So when you buy a car, it's already there, but it's not gonna work until you pay $5,000. It's if you pay before delivery. After delivery, it will cost you $6,000. If you for some reason you thought like, let me think about it, maybe I don't want autopilot, maybe it's just a silly feature, believe me you do. I was one of those people who thought I'm not sure, I'm not convinced, saving some fuel, going green, all this very being safe, extremely new technology, it's all made sense to me. Autopilot, I was skeptical, I will be honest. I was very skeptical, hey, isn't it a lot of people on the internet saying like, those people from the internet, they saying like, oh, you know, the autopilot is just a fancy cruise control, and that's what I thought, thanks to them. And I'm like, well, that's just silly. You know, I never use cruise control in any of my cars because just like, you know, what's the point? I don't know. I feel like it's actually more dangerous in a normal car, cruise control. First of all, very high risk of falling asleep. You kind of losing conscience, I guess. You kind of not paying as much attention. Like here, I'm not paying attention. Guess what? Car in front of me brakes. You can see my speed. My car brakes. I don't need to pay attention. I know adaptive cruise controls exist for a long time. I know. That's not the point. Someone will cut me off right now. The car will brake and will actually turn. So it's a huge difference there, guys. And you have to understand it. And in order to actually understand it, you have to feel it. I was one of the extremely silly people who actually did not take a test drive before I purchased the car. Don't ask me why, don't know. Just I was, I guess, too busy or something. I just knew that I love Tesla. I knew that it's the best car, period. So I didn't even need to test drive it. But yeah, for some reason I didn't have a chance to actually test drive it. And when I first bought it and I sat on a car and I drove without the pilot, which you have to wait a little bit. It doesn't work immediately. You have to wait roughly, some people say 50 miles, some people say 200 miles. I don't know. For me, it worked pretty quickly. I want to say like 30 to 50 miles. But yeah, you have to drive first a little bit after taking delivery for autopilot to be enabled. So what it does in this first few miles, it calibrates the cameras, actually adjusts them and stuff that I don't understand. So, but anywho, if you just bought a car and you're driving off the lot and you trying to turn on your autopilot and it doesn't work, don't freak out. It's supposed to be like that. Same goes for auto park feature, I believe summon, all those, you know, auto features. The same goes, you know, for the first day or so until you get like maybe 100, 200 miles. Don't worry if it doesn't work. It's supposed to be that way. So anywho, but Tesla is not a finished product, which is I'm totally okay. I will take Tesla any day rather than any Bentley, Lamborghini. Well, okay, let's not go there. Certainly not Bentley, you know. Certainly not Bentley, or certainly not Maserati or anything like this. I'm a car guy. You have to understand that. Like, I'm not just environmentalist. Like, I love the nature. That's why I bought a Tesla. I do love the nature. It is important for me that it's absolutely emission-free. Please don't start the conversation about where the electricity coming from. Silly question, and there's a lot of good answers. There's a lot of bad answers to it too, but that's not the point. At least the one very good major answer is much better than gasoline. That's for sure. Okay, so let's just keep it at that. Plus, a lot of people go on solar, so yeah, let's not go there. But I'm a car guy, so for me, it's actually important how the car feels, you know, that the car have a soul, the car have, you know, enough power, the car is not boring, you know what I mean? I had a lot of great cars in my life, which was absolutely boring, and I hated them just because of this reason. I will give you a good example. You're probably not gonna like it, but Volkswagen Passat. Beautiful car. Well, okay. Beautiful car from perspective that it costs very little and it's extremely reliable. I never expected such great quality from Volkswagen. It was great. It never let me down. I owned this car as my second car for a couple of years. Never had to do anything except change oil and replace tires. That's it. Like, seriously. And I drove across the country in it, and I drove a lot of miles. Nothing. Great car. But it's such a soulless, boring piece of machinery that it's just, I don't know, it sucked the soul out of me when I drive it. It's boring. And I don't mean it in a way that it's not fast, because it's not. But that's not the point. It's just boring. I'm not sure how to explain it rather than this word, boring. I hope some of you understand what I mean. I also had a lot of cars which is not boring at all. Like, I had a very highly modified Audi TT S with a sport exhaust, with like performance suspension, with a chipped computer. Like, there was a lot of stuff done to the car. It was intense. The car was pure madness. All-wheel drive, obviously, a lot of horsepower, and it's a tiny car, so very fast. Not as fast as Tesla, not even close, but still very fast. Like I could not feel most of the cars at the traffic light easily. But reliability and sustainability of this car is very questionable. First, reliability, their transmission is like, was always make me question, will I make it? So their robotized mechanical transmission, which is DSG, I believe that's what it's called, for Audis at least, and I think for Volkswagen it's called S-tronic, or the guy was very undecisive, so I had to turn off the autopilot to let him go. Anyhow, Tesla will always let go the car. Other owners should not know that, because I feel like they're gonna abuse that. Because Tesla will always let you go. If you cut the Tesla, Tesla will always stop. Don't tell it non-Tesla owners, they will always do that. But yeah. So anywho, I love that Audi from a perspective of not being boring, but on a full tank, which costed me roughly $38 per tank for the full tank, I could, with the current prices in Florida, and it's a premium gas, obviously, yeah, for a performance car. Also, don't yell at me for calling it performance car. I know it's a little car, but it was very fast, so I call it performance car. Leave it at that. So full tank, $38, and a full tank would last me, and I'm not joking, guys, I'm extremely honest with you, it would not last me more than 220 miles. Yep, 220 miles on a full tank. Yep. Yes, this car was highly customized, this car was much more powerful than it's supposed to be from a factory. So, but with that being said, well, that's why I made it that way, so it's not boring. But with this becoming not boring, it became really not sustainable. I would have to stop at a gas station. As I told you before, I drove in a week more than 800 miles. By the end of today, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna make 1,000 in a week. So do the math. I would have to stop like 4 times a week at the gas station, which would cost me $35, $38 each time. That's not sustainable. You know what I mean? That's just, and it's not comfortable either. Like, you talking about electric cars being dependent on chargers. Well, I was very dependent on my gas pump. Very, absolutely. And you know how some people being picky about not putting the gas at just any random gas station. So I always was looking for a particular brand, and I'm looking for only premium gasoline. And please don't tell me that you never seen a situation in your life when you know, gas pump is not available, like it's broken, this particular gas is not available or something like that. It happens all the time. It happens every single day. Never seen it with Tesla. Just saying. Just saying. Plus, I go home, I plug it in. It doesn't cover all my driving, obviously, overnight charge, but it does cover a pretty good chunk. You know what I mean? It's, what did I show you on the camera? Like 58? What did I lie to you? Yeah, I think it was 58. So, you know, if I charge at work, I got plenty. My commute to work, my daily commute, just a normal, like if nothing crazy happening, is only like 60-70 miles. So I'm almost done there already. Plus yesterday was a Saturday, which means I came home late, wink wink, but then I woke up kind of late as well. So I guess it doesn't really matter. My point is, from work, when I come a little bit earlier, I charge the car for a little bit more, so I could possibly get even more mileage before I unplug it. Anywho, superchargers are everywhere, guys. For those of you who don't know, the rate of superchargers growing is, honestly, if I wouldn't know that it's actually real, I wouldn't understand how the hell is that possible. Check the map. Like, go on the Tesla website. On the right corner, you can click on a pull-down menu, and there is a section charging, and they have a map there of superchargers. But more interestingly, you already can travel anywhere in United States, period. Well, not Alaska. I don't know what's the deal with Alaska, but not Alaska yet. And no Puerto Rico. Technically part of US, so no Puerto Rico. I think that's it. Anywhere in the United States, including Canada actually. Canada also, obviously only southern Canada so far, but you can travel anywhere. But forget about that. Forget about existing superchargers. Don't care. Look at the gray pins. So the red pins is the ones that's available right now. The gray pins is what's coming soon, and I mean very soon. Right now is June of 2018, and their gray pins is like something that's coming in summer of 2018 or maybe fall in 2018. Some of them late 2018. So practically everything what's coming within half a year, 6 months. And this is just insane, guys. The number is way more than doubled of existing one. And just to remind you, you already can travel absolutely anywhere without even thinking about it for a second. And it's way more doubled. Just in 2018. They're doing it in order to prepare for Model 3, obviously. But also keep in mind, if you worry about like, oh no, all the superchargers going to be extra occupied and stuff. No, they won't. No, they won't. For one simple, very good reason that I love. Supercharger is not free for Model 3, which means they're not going to be going there just for fun all the time, just because like, why not? I don't feel like charge at home, I'm just going to charge a supercharger. No, they won't, because it's not free. And in some cases, it's probably going to cost them more than charging at home. So for those of those owners who can work out without supercharger, they will. So you're not going to see extremely overcrowded superchargers there. No, it's not going to happen. More than that, my personal feeling, kind of fear that I had when I was purchasing Tesla, is that free supercharging gonna go away soon. That's my very strong belief, guys. I don't have any proof. I don't have any substantial arguments to make towards it, but that's my very strong feeling. They had their referral program for as long as Tesla pretty much exists, and every 3 months it's shrinking. Like the benefits going less and less. So I bought my Tesla on the last day when you could possibly get $500 towards your service or accessories in Tesla. And literally next day, I think it was April 29, that's when I ordered it. Yeah, it took me like 2 months to wait for my Tesla to be done, to actually get built and everything. But literally next day after I ordered my Tesla, referral program changed, and they did say in advance, not like it was a surprise to me. It's changed, that's why I bought exactly this day. Next day, $500 already gone. It was not available anymore. That's it. All you could get is a free unlimited supercharger, only with Model S or Model X, and only with referral code. So, and now I have even more worrying news regarding that. The new referral program, it says that, I don't know how true it is, but it says that you can only refer 5 people to get a free supercharger. Only 5, guys. After that, your code does not give anything to anybody anymore. You're not gonna be able to give your friend. I understand, not like you're gonna have more than 5 family or friends who will buy a Tesla. I get it, but my point is still that they're limiting it. They're making it smaller and smaller. And eventually, it's my very strong belief, eventually it will just disappear. It's again going back to sustainability. They selling roughly 6,500 Model S each year. Same number pretty much goes for Model X. And obviously 99.9 whatever, I'm making this number up, but pretty much every single owner of those X and S have a free unlimited supercharger, and with a unlimited warranty for drivetrain for 8 years, unlimited mileage. I mean, you can only imagine that the number of those cars on the road are gonna grow very exponentially. So Yeah, see, the guy in front of me kind of cut me off, so the car slows down kind of nicely, slowly. Right now it's wiggling around, as you can see, a little bit left and right, because there was a merge of lanes, and the line on the right finished, and the Tesla is right now like, whoa, this lane is too wide, like, should I go a little bit to the right, should I go a little bit to the left? Look what it's doing. It's getting there, and that's what I'm talking about. Unfinished product, it's getting there. You have to understand that when you buy it. Don't complain about it, because that's just silly. It's like, going on the first spaceship to Mars and expect there are Hilton 5 stars when you arrive there. It's silly. Like all of those guys that I seen on YouTube, like, oh, but I have this weird like doing thing in my autopilot. I don't like it. It's not safe. It's much safer than you are texting, that's for sure. It's not finished product right now. Tesla sensors working by the lanes on the sides and by the car in front of me, so it's keeping track of both. In the future, I believe in August, they're supposed to release a new software update, which will improve a lot of stuff. They didn't give a lot of details, or at least I'm not aware of them, which hopefully will improve a lot of those stuff. I heard a lot of rumors that there will be already availability to drive on absolutely unmarked roads. So Tesla will just somehow, I don't know how, don't ask me, somehow understand where the road is, where you're supposed to be driving in, stuff like that. Now, that's what you pay $100,000 for the future. You buy any car, and I mean any car. You buy, let's say, this, I don't know, let's use Bentley as example, whatever. It's a luxury item, it's not really a car, so it's a silly car, but it's a bad example. Anyway, let's say Lexus, pretty good brand, very good brand actually in this terms. It's great, everything is amazing, they got some new cutting edge technology features. Guess what? The next week they come out with some new feature. You just bought extremely expensive car which is outdated. With this car, even with Model 3, it's not gonna happen. It's just not. It will only happen to the point when the hardware is no longer able to support the software. And the type of hardware they're putting in those cars is insane. It's technology is not there yet, guys. And the self-driving capability is already available on those cars. It's just all those government regulations and everything. As soon as that's gonna be done, they're gonna be releasing the software updates for those as well. It costs us extra again, yes. Tesla have to make money somehow. You have to understand that it's a company. It's not a charity. People say also complain a lot about this type of stuff. I just don't get it. Like, why? If you don't like it, don't buy it. If you think it's too expensive, buy something cheaper. Like, it's a free market. That's how it works. It's like, why you complain about it? Well, not you. I know you're not complaining about it, hopefully. But yeah, it's, if you don't have enough money or you don't think it's a feature that will be in use for you, don't buy it. It's as easy as that. I'm certainly gonna be one of the first ones, that's for sure. And I'm gonna show you guys all the capabilities as soon as it releases. I believe it's in August. I'm gonna buy it immediately. It's one click of a button. That's, again, where have you ever would be able to upgrade your car that easily? Like, click of a button and you have a insanely new functionality in your car. Where is it? BMW? Huh? Where is it? Lexus? Exactly. It doesn't exist, and it will never exist in those cars. And honestly, I think Tesla is not being profitable right now. It's just because they're working for their future. They're investing in themselves a lot. Talking again about this supercharger network. Every single competition, and I mean it, every single one. Chevy, like Toyota, like all of them. BMW especially, that's a joke. BMW, i3, are you serious? Did you see a wrench on that car? I don't think I could drive to Starbucks and back. That's a joke, guys. I mean, I don't know what's the point of those cars, like, honestly. Anyway, when Tesla gonna build their supercharger network they're gonna multiply it by 2, by 3 times, which they will in a year or even 2. It's like it's inevitable because it's already happening. All the other cars, they done. Like, honestly, who in their right mind will ever buy non-Tesla electric car if you have to depend on level 2 charger? Level 2 charger will give you 18 miles per hour, guys. So how far can you go? You cannot. You cannot at all. In Tesla, I stop for 40 minutes. I grab a coffee. I buy a gum or something. I come back to my car. It's have already extra 150 miles. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, it's insane how fast it charges in a supercharger. It's just crazy. One of the best locations I see where it's actually a very good example of how insanely fast the supercharger network is growing is San Diego area. Don't call me out on the actual numbers. I'm probably gonna exaggerate. I like to exaggerate a lot, but I think currently they have about 2 or 3 superchargers around San Diego area, like in the actual town and around it. Sorry for calling it a town. It's a city, of course. And by the end of 2018, I think, according to the picture and my very horrible math, I think they plan to have 18. From 3 to 18. So after that, please tell me, why would you buy a BMW i3? One reason, please, give me one. It's cheaper? No, it's not. It's better? Pfft, please. Just because it's a BMW? Well, it's your own personal issues. Build quality? Again, guys, yes, Tesla does have a build quality issues from beginning. Like any car. It's absolutely a lie if someone tells you that, like, oh, Mercedes doesn't have any issues. Oh, hell yes they do. When they just release a new body, a new version of a car, oh, hell yes they do. Absolutely. I'm a big Mercedes fan. I had a lot of those, and believe me, they have a lot of issues, especially if you're buying a first year of a new version. Oh, hell yeah, a lot of them. That's the same goes with Tesla. If you buy a Model S when it just came out, if you like a pioneer, then you buy it in 2012, maybe, I don't know, 2013. Oh, absolutely, yeah, it's gonna have a little issue here, a little issue there. Of course. What do you expect? Especially with Tesla, they not that large of a manufacturer in any terms. So yeah, just accept it, and just keep in mind they have a very good customer service. They have a very good warranty. Like, they always make sure that you're happy, and they do their best. That's for sure. For some people, it's still not enough. I get it, but they do their best. And right now, and that's why actually I'm happy to buy a Model S right now, not early, because I know that everything been here polished to the perfection, and it is. My only one little tiny issue that I had, which I showed in the previous issue, is a software update issue. Nothing really to do with the car, you know what I mean? Like, a car itself, it's amazing. It's amazing. I drove a lot of very expensive cars. Did not own them, but drove a lot of expensive cars. And guys, this is supposed to cost more. I'm telling you, this is supposed to cost more. For $100,000, and I know it sounds insane. I know it does, but for this money, with a free charging, with this quality, and with a future-proof functionality and a self-driving car, it's a bargain of a century. It just is. And I just had to jump on a wagon of this like last going away train of a free supercharger, of not raising. I would not be surprised if actually Model S will raise their price a bit, because to kind of differentiate themselves with 3, to add a little bit more standard features and add a price, let's say 90. I would not be surprised at all. I think our cloth interior will be gone, because it just doesn't make any sense. Like, who would buy a Model S with a cloth interior? I don't know, guys. I mean, I just don't know. And honestly, their interior upgrade does not cost that much. It's $3,300, which is, again, I know it's a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, but in comparison to other car manufacturers, it's not that stiff at all. Just look around. Look at what's other, manufacturers charge you. Mercedes can charge you easily, $5,000-$7,000 for an interior upgrade off easily on a normal like C class. I'm not even talking about S class, which that's what this car is supposed to be compared to. S class, no less. But it's a smart S class, if you know what I mean. Plus, I would never buy an S class, brand new S class, ever in my life, because reliability is actually very questionable on those, and the price of fixing it, oh my gosh. Talking about sustainability. So yeah, so that's why I bought Tesla. Sorry for keeping it that long, but yeah, I love it so far. After 1 week and already 859 miles, I absolutely love it. I adore it. I would not buy anything else, even for a better price, which I don't think it's possible. And I also would not switch for Model 3 because yes, the supercharger is a deal breaker for me. The bigger, more luxurious salon is a deal breaker because I'm a car guy. I like the luxurious of it. I like the speed of it. That acceleration is intense. Let me address one more issue before I finish it up. I came across interesting topic in the internet of apparently it's a thing where a Dodge Challenger owners have some sort of a beef with Tesla Model S owners in the terms that like they kind of absolutely do not want to believe that Tesla Model S is a superior car and faster and better. It's made me just I lost my ability to speak for quite a bit. I wasn't speaking like for a week. So recently, and I was just like, what the hell? Like, it looks like a crappy car. But to be fair, I don't want to judge something that I don't know. And I never been a fan of American muscle cars, and therefore I decided not to judge it. Well, maybe I don't know something. Maybe it is so intensely powerful. Maybe it's so awesome. Maybe inside there's like everything is so perfect. The quality is great. Maybe steering is amazing. I don't know. So I needed to try it out. So recently I went for work on a quick trip to Ohio, and I rented one at Hertz. I rented one, and I drove it around for 3 days. Yeah, I drove it a lot. I drove it for like 300-400 miles there. It's a useless bucket full of nuts and bolts. That's what it is. Sue me. It's the most horrible piece of junk. Like, seriously, guys, what is wrong with you? You should not compare this car to Nissan Altima, because Nissan Altima is so much more superior car than your Challenger. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This car cannot drive straight. The suspension is horrible. It's just, I felt like I'm driving some car from 1970. It's just like a boat. It's like I'm driving on a perfectly straight highway. Ohio have a pretty decent roads, and I'm driving like that. Like, seriously, 60 miles an hour. I'm driving like this. I felt like a captain of a ship. It was horrible, and the acceleration is non-existent. Yes, I drove just a normal base whatever version, like a V6 whatever, not like SRT or anything like that. But I'm sorry, this Tesla is base Tesla. So I'm comparing base to the base, right? You press acceleration all the way down, like all the way, like until you actually bend the floor. The floor is very horrible material, so you probably do bend it. And then you have to wait and wait and wait.
And then, only then, some weird noises starting somewhere from the hood area, like boop, 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 boop. Something getting born there, and then not much happening, not much at all. You know, a lot of noise happened. Oh hell yeah, oh yeah, very scary noise, like ooh, be aware, I'm coming, ooh. The most horrible car I ever drove. I like, seriously guys, what is wrong with you? Unless you're 15, why do you ever buy that car? Then are they that cheap or something? Buy a Honda Civic. It's so much better. So much better. Sorry for Honda Civic owners, because it's actually a very good car. Honda Civic do an amazing job. For that price, this car, it's a great car. Dodge Challenger, Jesus Christ, guys. If any of you see me on a traffic light, please, I'm begging you, roll down your window and explain to me why you bought this car, and I will be absolutely welcoming to you to actually start, you know, on the red light with you, just to see in the comparison, because you don't understand what the hell you're talking about. This car is insane. The acceleration is mind-blowing. I drove a lot of very expensive, very fast cars. This is nothing to be compared. This car is insane. And Dodge Challenger, I'm sorry guys, don't compare a spaceship to a microwave. That's all it is. That's exactly like a good example of where those two items are. Microwave, spaceship. A rusted bucket with nuts and bolts, everything is squeaking in a salon. Like, I don't know how the hell such a big company as Dodge can make such a poor quality of a car. Oh, it's insane. So you should never ever say anything about quality of Tesla, ever. Not possible. Sorry guys, not you. Anybody else, maybe. Lexus maybe can talk something about quality of Tesla. Mercedes, possibly. Dodge? Please. And it's just a child car, like seriously. For the people who like Transformers, big explosions and a very loud noise, but not a lot of actually coming out of that noise, that's the car for those people. And usually I say no offense to the owners of the car that I'm offended, but in this case, yeah, it's supposed to be offensive, you know, because it's a horrible car. So on that note, I'm gonna go grab my coffee. So I arrived at Supercharger just to show you guys in a perspective of how much energy you can get and how fast. So as you can see, it's 253, 124 miles right now. I was not very easy on my acceleration pedal, but yeah, so that's not the point. So let's see. Let's plug it in. By the way, for those who are concerned about not having enough of chargers, there, middle of the bright day, not a single car except me, so no worries about that. So you just grab the cable, it's supposed to open it, and as soon as it shows green, that's charging. Here we go. The faster it's blinking, the faster it's charging. Not sure how helpful it is, but that's the case. Alright, so 123 and what's the time now? It's 254, 123 miles. So now just watch and be amused. And also I have to mention that the less charger do you have when you arrive to a supercharger, the faster your charging will go. Don't ask me why, I have no idea how it works. I guess it's just, you know, because the type of a battery and the way it's designed. I think it's all the lithium ion. I'm not sure which type of battery. Anyway, all the batteries this type work like that. So as you can see, I have roughly 50%, so don't expect the fastest speed ever, but still, look at the numbers. And as you can see, I did set not the limit not all the way up. I don't need that much juice at all. So while I've been talking with you, I already got 3 miles. So on my normal 4 miles, on my normal outlet, that's what I get per hour. Here I got it roughly in what, 30 seconds?
So yeah, it goes up all the way up to like 300 miles per hour speed. Yeah, as you can see, it keeps growing, this number. It's relative, obviously, because you know, consumption of each car is different, your driving style is different, so the number will vary a bit. Also, if someone right next to me will supercharge as well, my numbers might drop a little bit. But so far I never came to a supercharger where I even had to stand next to someone yet. So usually all pretty wide open. Again, not a single car, guys. And right here, it's a, you know, it's a Wawa, it's a gas station. They have bathrooms, they have, you know, some snacks, sandwiches, anything you want. So it's pretty nice area here, not bad at all. So 308 miles per hour. I mean, that's just incredible. And also, I believe the Tesla are going to be introducing their superchargers version 3 update, if I am not mistaken. Anyway, it's supposed to be even better, even faster, whatever that is. I'm not sure how much faster that could be. I mean, I'm just amazed that at this rate of charging, the battery is just not exploding. But Tesla is making sure that the safety always comes first, so I know everything is good. Maybe you can hear, actually, there's a little bit of a noise of fans. You can hear a little bit. It's not very loud. Maybe you can hear it, I don't know. So yeah, that's batteries being cooled down and all those, you know, charging stuff being controlled with the temperatures. It's actually pretty hot outside, so but yeah. So again, going back to our question of how easy it is to charge and everything. So if your daily commute, even if you don't have a outlet at home at all, even on 110, which I don't believe in this, but let's assume you in an apartment complex and you have to park in the middle of a parking spot without any 110 outlets nearby whatsoever. Okay, so the most horrible case scenario ever. Even in this case, if you have somewhere nearby a supercharger, and somewhere I mean probably within like 20 miles radius, which should cover like 80% of the American population, probably should have a supercharger right now already within 20 miles radius from them. If you just stand at supercharger for, I don't know, 20 minutes, you will have more than enough of juice for a few days. I mean, I'm purposely not stopping this video so you can see in the real time how fast as it goes. So that's just to answer to all of those people who is very skeptical about how feasible it is on the long trips. Like, in this time, I would not be able to get a coffee or even get a bathroom. Like, no way. It's too fast. So I need to, you know, after driving for, my car is the base model 75D, so it can get on a full charge 259 miles. I believe that's the case. So after driving 250 miles, yeah, I do want to, you know, stretch a bit. I do want to get a cup of coffee. I do want to maybe have, I don't know, glass of water or something, you know, go to the restroom just to stretch around a bit. And it's not possible in much shorter time than Tesla charges. So yeah, at the time you're done with your stuff, your car is also done and you keep going. And the maps made that amazing, brilliant way that you don't even need to think or plan anything ahead. It's gonna do all the work for you. All you have to do is just put your destination in, and it's, if you don't have enough juice to make there, also there's an option to check if you have enough juice to go there and back, if you worry about this, if it's kind of, you know, round trip and you want to make sure you can do that on the one charge. So it can show you this as well. So if you don't have enough juice, it's gonna direct you to stop somewhere on a way, either on a supercharger if that's available, or on a destination charger. Destination charger, like I say, it's usually level 2 chargers, which is, you're roughly looking at 18 miles per hour charge. Not ideal, but hey, if there's nothing else available, that might work as well. But yeah, So just by talking with you for a couple of minutes, I already have 30 miles of range for free, and very effortlessly. So yeah, just wanted to share that with you guys. And as you can see, this is very good thing that it's happening right now. The rate of miles per hour is actually dropping a little bit from the maximum that we've seen like a minute or two ago. That's because we're getting closer to our limit, which I said. Like I told you in the beginning, the less of a charge you have in your Tesla, the faster it's gonna charge. So if I would have, let's say, 10% only when I arrive here, the rate probably would be, I don't know, 350 or something. So that's for those people who have a range anxiety. You should know that you should not feel like right now I do with half a tank or half a battery. What's the tank with the battery called? Anyway, when you're only half empty, you should not really charge, because you know you're actually gonna be sitting longer in a car than you would if you were to actually, you know, drive a little bit more and come with a less of a charge. It would charge even faster. Just a little tip for you if you're going for a long trip, you know, trust the system. The estimation of a Tesla is very good. There's two settings. One setting is ideal. Basically, it can show you the best case scenario, how much you can pull out of your charge, and the second is basically your average consumption. It's based on your daily driving type of style and how much you actually consume the energy. So I use that one, the second one, because it's obviously more accurate, because I think I drive a little bit more aggressive than average, you know, that provided by Tesla. So, but their numbers, their estimation is extremely accurate. So don't worry about it, just trust the system, let it do what it does best, and you're gonna be just fine. I'm gonna be putting this car to a series of very cool tests very soon, guys. So I'm gonna go for some very long trip, and with no stops, let's say roughly 1,000 miles, just to show you guys what this car should be capable of. And it's gonna be interesting for me as well, because it's gonna be the first one, and we're gonna see some cool, interesting locations. And how does Tesla actually works in a real world scenario with, you know, traveling further than your just daily commute. All right, so stay in touch, check my future videos, and I'm sure you're gonna see some interesting stuff.